Welcome to the Total Body Training Podcast, where we'll help people get lean, gain muscle, and build some damn confidence. And today I'm with Karen. We're going to be talking about her company, Glow. It's a clothing company, and Karen's social media presence and her clothing brand and what that represents. I really admire what Karen is going for and what she represents with her clothing company. A mutual friend of ours introduced us. Really appreciate that, Jessica. I'll tag you in the description of this video. But let's jump into this. So Jessica, tell us a little bit about Glow. Oh wait, first of all, let's clarify.
Wait. You called me Jessica.
Oh shit, I'm mixing people up. Okay, all right. Karen.
Yes.
Let's
Oh, good.
Wow, I really
You really fucked this one up already.
Right?
Starting it.
Let's and I quit. No, all right. Karen.
Yes.
All right, but I said your name, and then I said Jessica's name, and then I said Jessica's name
You just
again.
walked right into it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's just that Gemini.
Yeah, you got it. It's the Gemini.
All right, so it's the air sign.
Yeah, it's the head always in the clouds. I feel you.
All right, so first of all, let's clarify the name of your company here.
Okay, so I have it with the snap. I have it as Shop Glow because it's a shop, but the actual name is Glow. Glow Collection. I know it's confusing, and you know what? I don't care at this point if y'all call it Shop Glow. As long as y'all love it, tag it, it doesn't matter. But it is Glow. I'll show you on the bra. Just
right there.
Just Glow.
Glow.
Just Glow.
Glow. It said it.
Let's keep it simple.
I can see it.
Yes, 4 words. So thank you all who have already supported Glow. Shop Glow.
GLOW.
Yes, exactly.
We got it now. All right, so let's talk about you. So you have, and then we'll kind of spill over into the clothing side of things.
Okay.
So you have a very large social media presence.
Yes.
You've done very well for yourself. And has it always been fitness related?
It has not.
Okay.
So I feel like it started to go more fitness related when I met my ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
I was always healthy. I always worked out. Have a mother who instilled that in me since I was young, 11 years old. I started going to the gym, but it was when I met an ex, which is actually my father's son. He was very into fitness. I started getting more into fitness, but in the beginning it was more about, so I started my Instagram about 2014, 2015. So it was a lot of, I guess you could say, modeling, sexy pics. And I know that at that time, it was all about the booty, showing off. Like, there wasn't a lot of that. So that's when the booty rage came out, right? And your girl got some booty. So, like, at the time, I was younger. My attention was focused on something else. So I was just focused on male attention, getting that male attention, growing any way possible. And in order to grow then, it was so easy. All you had to do was post really sexy photos. Whether that was who you were, on social media or off social media, it didn't matter. And my account grew so fast doing that. It also grew through a viral video. So there was some things that the viral video was hilarious as shit, which I love that I did that. I just don't love that I did how I grew in the other way. But it's all a part of a growth process. It's all a part of transformation. And yeah, I'm not super cool that I did that, but at the same time I am, only because it allowed me to see, like, I don't want to be this person, and it allowed me to change, and without change we're not growing. So
yeah, that's really awesome. And see, sometimes people kind of get pigeonholed when they start off a certain way. Pigeonholed, you know what I'm saying? It's like you get stuck. Like, I'm an Instagram model, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I'm sure you're pro, like, people doing whatever they want. It's just that when you want to transform, sometimes you can't, or you don't know how. And it definitely seems like you've changed quite a bit, because I don't know you as being that version of you. I know you as you are now when we got introduced.
Which is so cool, because it shows you that you don't always have to be where you're at. Like, you can grow and you can change, and there's nothing holding you back except yourself and how you see yourself. So you're gonna have different versions of you all throughout your life, and I've learned that you don't have to be stuck with something. And I can tell, I guess Instagram models, because I've been there, so I can tell you, like, it's just not for me anymore. There's just some things that I don't agree with, but to each their own, because I was there. So yeah. I'll never cast a stone, I'll never judge, but I just know, like, I can see a woman and look at her and say, you're so much more than this, but you'll realize it on your own.
Yeah, absolutely. So where does Glow come into this?
So Glow was established, I was I had just had my son. I was on maternity leave from my corporate job. It was my second month on maternity leave, and I was kind of like, oh shit, I don't want to leave. Like, I don't want to go back to work. And I had a friend who already owned a clothing company, and he approached me and said, hey, I believe in you. I see your potential. And aren't friends like that always the best thing? When they just see your potential. He approached me and said, I can do all the back end stuff for you. I know you're still working. You just had your son. You have so much on your plate. But I think you can do this because it goes in line with what you want to do. And what I wanted to do was instill confidence in women, help build women up. I didn't know how. But what better way to start with clothing for somebody putting something on. And the clothing obviously is just the carrier of the message, of a bigger theme. But then putting it on makes them feel like I'm wearing something that represents something bigger. So he started doing all the back end stuff for me, and eventually I was able to quit my corporate job and kind of do it on my own. So this is all I'm doing right now, full time.
What is that bigger message?
So the bigger message, Glow pretty much represents the woman who knows who she is and makes no apologies for it, but also represents the female who doesn't know who she is, but is on the path to finding that. So we encourage you to come as you are, to be who you are, no matter where you're at. Because I won't ever say that, oh, I'm fully healed, or I'm fully where I want to be. I'm at 100%. People are always growing, are always going through things through life, but Glow just represents that journey. And that no matter where you're at in your journey, you can still be beautiful, you can still be confident, even if you don't feel it. And it stands for community, confidence, and connection. So I believe that all of us are connected in some sort of way, and that if we don't have community, you don't have anything. Like, I feel like community and connection and relationships are what keeps the glue to humanity, and just especially females, especially mothers. I'm a mother, so I can relate. But I feel like that is where we all come together. And our mission is just to empower people and feel like they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be where they, at the end goal, we're there all throughout. And that's what I feel so strongly about.
And would you say that the clothing that you all put out there reflects that also? Because I know that you try to do things that are size inclusive and for different body types, right? Do you want to talk about that a little bit, or? Yeah,
so right now, obviously as a small brand, you have to start with certain things, and you're not always gonna, when you deal with manufacture, all the back end stuff, I'm not gonna get into that, but you start small, and then when you see the people's feedback, and when you see people wearing it, loving it, good feedback, bad feedback, like everything counts. You see, okay, well, I need to expand. So at the moment, we're trying to expand to larger sizes because I do have women that are bigger busted. I'm bigger busted myself, wider, just of all shapes and sizes, moms, et cetera, et cetera. So we want to include everybody as much as possible, but that can only happen once you have the clientele and the base. So based off what people are wanting is how we serve.
So it sounds like what Karen wants you all to do is to talk to her about what you want.
Exactly.
She wants to help service a diverse brand of people, or different kinds of people, so that she can make sure that she's bringing quality to all sorts of different body types and different lifestyles. And
exactly. And I want to know what you're loving, what you don't love, how it made you feel. Did it bring something out in you? Because when we get messages like that, it helps so much. Like, I've gotten bad messages and I've gotten really good ones. And the really good ones obviously light me up, make me feel so good, and just see a future for Glow, like a bigger future. And then the bad ones obviously help people improve and help make your clothing better. And what am I not doing? What am I not including? What do I need to think about, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and even, large clothing companies run into issues. I know that Lululemon ran into issues. I mean, that's one of the most expensive. Well, not the most expensive, but they're pretty pricey, right? It's really high-end stuff. I mean, it's good quality stuff.
Great
but
quality.
They ran into issues because of their, not having the right sizes and things like that. And when you have like a multi-million-dollar company also running into issues, it only stands that, a smaller company that's trying to start up will also run into some problems too. If they don't have it all perfect, then, why would everybody else have it perfect? I mean, they're kind of like an industry standard.
For sure. So. But I also do believe that as much as not everybody has to be, I will say this, not everybody has to be inclusive. That's really up to the brand and the business. And if that's not where your calling is, or where you, like, you can go somewhere else. And that's the freedom of this, is that you don't have to wear Glow. You don't have to wear Lulu. It's where are you attracted to and why? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
no, I know
it's
what
up
you
to
mean.
each business to say, you know what, we're not going to do these sizes, or we're not going to do this. We're going to keep doing what we're doing because it works for us. But then some other businesses like mine, we want to take a different approach. And there's nothing wrong with that, because each can be successful in their own way. So I'm all about letting people do what they're going to do, and you're going to attract the people that you're going to attract. And those people are going to be there for the right reasons.
Yeah, and then, you know, that also allows you to be more honest with yourself, right? And allow your customers to have a more honest relationship with you and what you all represent. So like, who would you say then is your ideal client then? Like, if I'm, you know, who's the person who's going to shop Glow?
Somebody that is having, like I said, somebody that is confident as hell, that wants to look amazing in the gym, feel amazing, but then somebody that also wants that confidence boost, that wants to wear something that they feel really good about, that they may, for example, we have women that they say, I've never worn shorts, but wearing your shorts just makes me feel so good. Like, wearing shorts for the first time, just the way that you created them, the way that they're designed, like, it gives me so much confidence to know what I'm wearing and what y'all are promoting. So our ideal client, I would say, is anybody who wants to feel confident, who wants to feel good, and who wants to look cute at the gym. Obviously, you want to look hot, right? But you don't always have to look like, have no rolls or cellulite or whatever. I have cellulite, I have rolls, I have women that have that, and they post it anyway. So I'm like, fuck yeah, like, I love that shit. That is confidence to me, is that knowing that you're not perfect, but knowing that you're working on yourself and that you're out there getting it. And so seeing all of y'all's posts and things like that, just, I'm like, this is working slowly, but it's working, and it's making an impact, and I just absolutely am amazed by it.
Yeah, and I really love that, because it's really difficult to find that on social media with how a lot of brands represent themselves. Obviously, not everybody has to show those things, like those, what people think are imperfections or whatever. But what's also true is that there are a lot of people at home, especially women, who are sitting there feeling insecure about who they are because they're looking at their phone and looking at like somebody they think is perfect, when in reality they don't know what that person actually looks like in real life, or they don't know, you know, how much work they had to do just to do that, and how they have to focus on like creating that image of themselves, and how it takes so much of their time. And what you're saying is you should be able to feel cute and attractive no matter where you're at in life.
Right, how you look, exactly. So I have, our models they're not all super thin, super tall. I have short girls, I have bigger girls, I have thicker girls. Obviously we're looking. So if you feel like you've got what it takes, please DM us on shop_glow_ at Glow. But I have a few mothers, because I'm a mother. My friend Jackie, she's amazing, and she has a scar here, and she was so embarrassed to do a shoot, and I'm like, girl, you look great, like, ain't nobody looking at that damn scar. So and she did it, and she looked amazing, and she flourished. So stuff like that is what we look for. Like, it doesn't matter. You're gorgeous, you're beautiful as you are. And of course, we all have our ugly, fat, bloated, let's eat cookies all day days. I do. Everybody does. It's just life. But that's a part of it. Like, that's just life. And it's just based on raw honesty and being realistic with yourself and who we are as females. Like, some days we're gonna be bloated as shit. Just pull the high-waisted leggings a little higher.
Pull it up.
And wear the longer crops that we got, and that's it. And you're good. But you're still out there getting it. So that just shows, like, that's confidence to me, is that even knowing, like, hey, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm getting there. That is confidence, because not everything is given to people, and you do have to work for it. But sometimes, obviously, with social media, we don't see it.
No, we don't see that. No, we don't. And you know, just to like go off on that, like, I've seen, like, personally, I've seen people that I'm attracted to that wouldn't be like stereotypically what people think as hot because of how they carry themselves.
Absolutely.
So it's like I've seen women who maybe you got a little bit more to love, but you like rock it in some kind of way. And you're like, fuck, look at me.
Ooh,
like,
I know. They're like,
yeah. It's
like, what's her name? The girl from Lizzo. Do you know who Lizzo is?
Yeah. Lizzo's the she's like a R&B kind of hip hop.
She's like rocks her shit. Like I love it.
Now.
Yeah,
but she like owns her body, right? And that's hot. Like when
really
you just like own like who you are.
Right, and you're like, oh well, who's gonna want to be with like somebody like that? Like somebody internally thinking negative about themselves. Like who's gonna love me like this? Who's gonna want me like this? There are people out there like that will see that confidence and will see that grace and will love the shit out of you as you are.
Yeah, not just to mention that, but like also, you know, as we get older, things are gonna change, you know? Like your body's gonna change, your butt's gonna change, everything's gonna change. And so you have to be ready for that. If your idea of beauty is looking like you're 23 and like
I mean, I will say the Botox can help with anything
of course,
nicely done, tastefully done.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that's all you've got to go on, then you got to do some inner work, girl, because no. I've met the most confident, beautiful women on the outside, but they were rotting on the inside. They were ugly. And I've met the most, you know, vivacious and lively and spirited women who were like bigger, or not even just bigger, but like, you know, but you just see that light in them. So beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like sometimes it's not absolutely visible and physical. So it's all how you see yourself and the perspective that you have. So I do believe that perspective is everything. What you bring to the community, what you bring to the world, pretty much your glow. And that's what glow is having your light, knowing what it is, owning it. And then once you own that and accept it, you go out and give it to the world and you help others find theirs. So that's the whole tie into the community and the connection and all that.
Awesome.
Yes.
Very cool. So I'm just going to ask you just like a few more questions. So
yeah.
You work out, right? Obviously, like you work out. How often do you work out?
I would say on a good week, 4 times a week, 4 to 5 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you have a crazy life. You have how old?
1 1-year-old. Yes, he's 1.
Boy or girl? I'm sorry.
A
I don't
boy.
know. Okay.
Grayson.
What's Grayson? Okay.
Yes, Grayson.
All right. So you've got Grayson, 1 year old. That probably takes up a lot of your time, right?
He does.
And you still manage to get into the gym, plus run Glow, plus you have a corporate job still, or what are you doing?
I'm done.
You're done. You're done with the corporate job. Okay. So you're just doing Glow right now.
Right.
Okay. What about these speaking engagements you're going on though? Weren't you just in Colorado or something like that?
I did. Yeah. I just had a speaking engagement in Denver on Saturday. It was called Unleash Her. It was absolutely amazing. I was scared shitless to do it, but it's one of those things to where I conquered a fear. And when you conquer fears and things that you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't, like your mind tells you no, but your heart is like, yes, you have to do this. When you conquer something, it makes you feel so much more empowered to do other things.
Yes.
Like it's like little steps and then you're like, fuck, I can do anything. Like when I had my son, I had him natural, no epidural, no drugs.
Shit.
First time labor, like
no drugs?
Nothing. I had nothing. Why the fuck did I do that, right? Everybody's like, no, give me the drugs. I don't know how you did it. But it was all mental, it was all preparation, and it was all me saying, I want to do this because that was a fear of mine. Labor was a fear of mine. Tearing during labor was a fear of mine. So I said, you know what? I want to experience pain. Like I want to experience the pain of bearing a child, of bringing something into this world. What other way to experience that than this? Like what other like magical, like I can't even explain it, like otherworldly way to experience. So experiencing that and knowing that I did that made me so empowered to do anything. And I'm not saying that it has to be childbirth.
Yeah.
It can be anything. Like anything that you're like, how the fuck did I do that? But I did it. So like now I'm here and now like I can run with the world and I can do anything in this world.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel. So ever since having my son, like I have this inner like drive that I never had before. And like, again, it doesn't have to be from children, but just for me, that's what it was. And that is what I talked about going back to the conference at Unleash Her, was that if I would have I was so clouded because my mind was clouded because the situation wasn't ideal for me when I had him or when I was pregnant. It wasn't the fairy tale that I wanted, that I originally dreamt up in my head. But if I did not have him, then I wouldn't be sitting here probably with you today. I wouldn't be at the conference, just because I feel like I still would have been in a different position, in a different situation. And sometimes things do happen, and they come in odd gifts, odd wrapping paper. They don't have a bow on them, even though my child is, oh my God, it's a blessing. But in the beginning, like at the time when you're going through the shit and through the mud, like it doesn't seem like it is, but it is. It always is. It's always a blessing in disguise. I truly, firmly believe that.
Yeah, I agree. There's a quote I like. It's the things which hurt instruct. Benjamin Franklin. Like, if you've got some shit going on, you've got to find a way to pivot.
Absolutely.
Like, if you can turn shit into sugar real quick if you really like focus.
Right.
And you could have been in a really tough situation.
But again, it was also the community so that's why I feel like community is so important. So get involved in your community. I don't know whether that's church, whether that's spiritually, whether that's with friends, whether that's a group that you go and speak. Like, it doesn't matter, but get involved in community, because when you keep everything inside, it just bottles up and it needs to come out. Or whether that's other things like exercise, physical activity, but you need people to talk to. You need support, and it doesn't always have to be family. Mine was family, definitely, and friends. So thank God. But if I didn't have that, I don't even know where I'd be. So it's all about your community, absolutely.
Right on. So you're saying that if you've got something going on, find some friends or some family to connect with, or some form of community, because not everybody has that. Yeah, not everybody has that, but you probably have something there, or you can find it, especially online nowadays. There are ways to find it.
Oh yeah, and then people are so willing, obviously be safe, but like other women are so willing to meet and just to talk. I have women DM me, say, I'd love to work out with you. I'd love to grab coffee. I'd love to just talk to you. And I'm like, sure. If I have the time, I would meet with every single person that DMs me. But it's just amazing. Obviously there's bad things to it, but then there's really cool things like that you can just meet. Like at the conference, I had a roommate. Yeah. I had only known her through social media, and we ended up clicking like crazy. I feel like she was a long lost sister. Yeah. And hi, Annette, if you ever watch this. But we're already talking about doing another conference in Phoenix next year. And she's like, I love to have you talk. I'd love your vibe. It was just one of those, so you just don't know where your life will end, and you don't know how you're going to meet people, especially on social media. It's just such a cool thing. But yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's all I have to say. I mean, I can't. She's got it together.
I don't have it together. It's all up here, going like this, but I try.
No, but you're explaining it really well, and you know your message, and it's very clear in your branding, when you look at your imagery, and it's very clear when you talk about it. I mean, you have it more together than you're saying you do.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's always shit behind the scenes.
Right.
There's always shit behind the scenes. I'm a business owner too, so there's stuff people be like, oh, you're successful. And I'm like, well, let me tell you about.
And that's the thing, though, is that we always throw ourselves under the bus.
I know.
We can never just take a fucking compliment.
I know.
It's why can't I just say, wow, thank you so much? But because I do know that I got shit going on, so I'm like, oh wait, no, but you don't know this. It's when somebody in the bathroom is like, oh, that's a really cute top. You look so good. And you're like, oh girl, it was $5 at Target. It's not like you're like, wow, thank you so much. And that's another thing that I talked about at the conference was see where you're at, giving yourself grace, think something good before you think something bad. And I think we all do this, the negative self-talk.
Yeah.
As positive and as positive a mindset that we might have, because I feel like you're really grounded too as well, and so you have more of the positive mindset, and you surround yourself with that, and you know people's vibes, and you know energy, and you know who you are.
Yep.
But I'm sure you go through your days to where you don't want to do shit.
No.
And you teach people. I can't even imagine putting on that,
No, there are definitely days, if I was to be complete, and I talk about it on the podcast, or like insecurities that I have or something like that, because I want people to know that, despite like owning a company and having my shit together, there's like times when I'm just like, fuck it, like I don't feel like doing this. Or like, oh my God, like I gotta do this like right now, or the negative self-talk thing. That, if you are struggling with negative self-talk, there's a lot you can do to fix that, but one thing is to take better care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Like that will make a big difference. Like if you're not like eating, sleeping, and working out, your brain, or my brain, goes in a really bad place.
Mine too. Even like getting outside and walking, like that helps so much.
Right.
Yeah, like go hike, go to, what's a really good, have you been to Friedrich?
I haven't, but I heard it's pretty.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Immerse yourself, like do something like that, breathe. Even if you, like, I understand with the kids situation, some people can't get away like that, but tell your husband or tell your friend or tell your mom, I just need to drive for like 15 minutes. I'll be right back. Like those things like that really help me. I'm so thankful that I had my mom and she, helped me with my son, but I could just, go, I'll be back in an hour. She's like, go to the store, come right back.
Yeah. So sometimes you just need to be alone for a little while to process things when you're in a bad mood.
Right.
Or when you're not in the right mindset. Like you need to detach yourself and people just sit in it.
Right.
And then they get into this like self-loathing thing where they're just like, well, this is going wrong and this is going wrong and this is going wrong. And then that turns into you being mad at your partner or your spouse, you being mad at your parents, you being mad at your kids, you not being like present for the people in your life. Or being even present for yourself because you're beating yourself up so much. So like taking a few minutes to like go for that walk. Maybe you don't like walking, right? Like we're health nuts here, so we want to go on walks and shit. But maybe you're just like, fuck that, like I don't want to do that. Maybe it's like I don't know, like just
read.
Playing a game or reading.
Take a bath.
Taking a bath, yeah.
Or you can even be like, I don't know, being outside with your kids, like it doesn't matter. Having a conversation with a friend, calling a friend on the phone, like all those things matter. And for you to be able to get out of that mental space. And I do also say, let it happen. Like, say all you got to say about yourself, but then pull yourself back together because that's not what defines you. It's just a state that you're in. It's not forever, whether it's a few days. Some people, obviously it lasts for longer.
Yeah.
I don't experience that personally, but I can imagine. But sometimes it's a few hours, sometimes it's 15 minutes. Sometimes I'll find myself like, oh, I fucking hate the way, like, why do I have it? Like, why do I look like this? Like, it's just ugly. But then being able to, an intelligent, self-reflective person is being able to say, okay, I said this, let's move on. Like, I acknowledge that this isn't who I am. Let's move on. Those are just thoughts. Thoughts come and go.
Yeah,
and emotions are fleeting, like coming and going, coming and going. So even like women, like when we're on our cycles and shit, like we don't want to do a damn thing. Like I just want to eat. Like I don't want to do shit. Like I don't want anybody to touch me, or I want everybody, like, or I want my partner to just hold me. Like it's all over the place. But knowing that that's fleeting and it's up and going and just doesn't define you.
Yeah, I think the not letting it define you thing matters a lot.
Yeah.
Like if you complain, try to find like the flip side of it, of like what you can do. So for example, this is one that I did, and it's a little weird. I don't know if I made it up, but there's something that helped me out a lot when I was struggling was, obviously some people journal and they like to write bad things, right?
That's great.
And I journal, but what I really like doing was putting together a list of 100, and this sounds shallow, but it's not, a list of 100 things I like about myself right now.
That's great.
And so I'd write list one. I'd go on my Word document on my computer and be like, I just bullet point. I'd set it so that like numbers would populate, and I would just be like list of 100, and I'd be like, I like the fact that I'm outgoing or something, or I like the fact that, and I just write words, outgoing, decent fashion sense, like something like that.
Yeah.
Like, some like things that I think are good about me, so that I'm not focused on all this like bad shit or these bad things that are going on in life, or like a list of 100 things that are going well. Right?
Or
that's
things that you're grateful for.
Yeah, that you're grateful for. Like any of these
Yeah.
things that start getting your like mind thinking, okay, like things aren't as bad as they are. Like, I have a baby, it's something that's really special. Or I have my health. Like there's somebody who's in a worse situation than I'm in. I have a roof over my head.
Right.
Like all these things like that are really big life things we tend to forget that we're very fortunate to have in our lives, and that we should be more grateful for them. And sometimes we just get wrapped up in this minutia and we get depressed about something or anxious or something that we shouldn't be.
Totally agree. I think that's such a good practice.
Oh yeah,
An amazing practice.
It's helped me.
Or even before, I've also read being grateful will fill your life with more abundance. Just waking up and saying, thank you for allowing me to breathe one more day. Then this is what I'm thankful for today. I'm thankful for my food, the fact that I have a roof over my head, a car to drive to work, the fact that I can provide, like things like that are so like basic needs that we don't think about, because imagine just being in a different situation. So that's great.
Yeah, no,
Glad you brought that up.
even being able to breathe. Like I had an accident like years ago, and I had an accident. I was in the hospital, and like breathing hurt. You know, it's like you take that for granted.
Right.
Like there's someone laying that's can't breathe right now correctly.
Yeah.
You know, it's just.
Or when you see those videos on Instagram of people running like marathons with no legs, like things like that are fucking incredible.
Yeah.
How would you even have the drive to do things like that after, like, I don't even know what I do.
Yes, I've seen vets with no legs.
Like stuff like just
stuff like
incredible things like that. You're like, how do people get through certain things? Like, I can't imagine, but then you don't think about like, hey, maybe I haven't been through, no legs, but I've been through this. Like, I got through. I mean, hey, it's just different.
Maybe I haven't been through no legs. I get what you're saying, though. No, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But I get what you're saying. It's like if I have my legs, like why don't I have my shit together?
Right.
Like, I need to get my shit together.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I need to go. Like, what's this? That guy didn't make excuses.
Right.
Like, why am I making excuses?
Yes,
Right. That's the thing. Like, yeah, I totally get it. Like, no, it's just funny. The way you said it is funny. Yeah, awesome. Well, Karen, let's talk about your social media real quick. I just want you to let us know where people can find you.
Absolutely. So you can find my page on Karen, Karen_VI, short for Villarreal. I'm Latina, in case you don't know.
Ella habla español también.
Sí, por supuesto que sí. But that's where you can find most of my personal stuff. I do a lot of videos, posts, like especially towards mothers. I'm a mom, and so that's my personal page. My business page is in my bio, but you can also find it at shop, SHOP_glow, GLOW_, and that's for the business, where people can go and see the types of women that we have, the types of women that wear our stuff, our clothing, etc., and just kind of feel the vibe that we got going, and let me know what you think. DM.
Awesome. I'm Jean Carlos. You can find me on Instagram as Jean Carlos Gonzalez TBT, and you can also find me at Total Body Training on Facebook and Instagram. That's the name of my studio, our podcast, like our whole brand and message here. All right, people, thank you so much for tuning in to the Total Body Training Podcast. Until next time, peace. Working out from home can be boring. Whether it's the fact that you don't have proper weightlifting equipment, or you're sick and tired of using pre-recorded workout videos that lack motivation and proper instruction that is geared towards you. If you find yourself in one of those categories, look no further than Total Body Training. We've got you covered with our online weightlifting from home program. That's right, we teach you in a virtual classroom how to work out and lift weights for you at your current level and where you want to be at in the next 6, 12 months. Where do you want to be at by the end of this year? We've got you covered with our online weightlifting program. So if you're interested, read the description section of this video to learn more about how you can start lifting weights from home with us today.